So, where we left off with the mystery Connecticut pattern, try to think back here. I had sanded, or filed, not sanded, the mushrooming and deformation off of the pole. Kind of got the pole in the original shape now. Started putting an edge on it. I have not gotten a chance to put an edge on the other side yet. We're getting there. But before I get too far, I want to experiment with some forged patina. I know it's big in the knife community. I haven't seen really much of it at all in the axe community at all. I don't know how it's going to look. It might look absolutely terrible and I might hate it, which is a very good chance of that. So I want to experiment with it before I do too much with the head in case I just want to sand it all off and then start fresh with the cold blue. So, little experimenting time in the shop. I've got some ketchup here. Just standard ketchup. I just raided the fridge to see what I had. Some Dijon mustard, which I actually hate mustard, so at least find something you kind of use for it. And some hot sauce. So I like hot sauce, so maybe that'll be a win. And I'm basically just gonna first start with just cleaning the head off just a tiny bit with some alcohol. Just like any other forced patina or any other bluing thing that I do, I try to make sure it's degreased, because if there's oil on that bare metal, even just from your hands, it protects it, right? You don't want it protected. You want whatever chemical you're putting on there to interact with the steel. Bluing is just a controlled rusting, right? It's an oxidation of that steel. So, gotten a quick scrub. Let's try with some ketchup first. I don't expect it to work as quick as bluing. Way back in the day, I did some forced patina on some knives. I can't remember what I used. I think it was some ketchup. So maybe we'll try some ketchup on that side. Maybe we'll try some mustard on the other. Just to see what kind of different looks we can get. This even smells bad. I don't like mustard. It's okay when it's in some stuff like honey mustard dips, but I don't know, just never been a fan. Alright, then we'll try the hot sauce on the pole here. Alright, so now I'm just going to let that sit for a while. Alright, so this head's been sitting for 3 days now. Not because I think it needed that long, but because life gets busy. Alright, so I think if I remember correctly, this side was ketchup, which it looks alright. I don't know how much of that is just the dried ketchup on there, or if it's actually the patina underneath. The pole was the hot sauce. Looks like it did something. And then this side was the mustard. That I can't really tell either. So I'm actually going to take this inside quick, wash it off, and I will be right back. And through the miracle of editing, we're back. So, this side, I believe you said was the ketchup. The pole was the hot sauce, and this side was the mustard. I would say the mustard did the most, but that is still not anywhere close to what some cold bluing does. The ketchup, it almost didn't. It didn't really do anything except make it look dull. It made it look a little less shiny. So it's like a dull gray, not a shiny gray. Or shiny steel. So I will probably not do a forced patina on the whole axe. I will probably just give it a little sanding and cold bluing, because that's not nearly as dark as what I was hoping for. I was really hoping for a lot more color on there. I'm not sure why it didn't darken up, but that's why we tested it out. I'm glad I tested it before I did something on the whole thing. So I'll probably end up kind of gently sanding here, kind of blending it into the patina and giving it overall a little sand, and then do a whole cold blue on the whole axe. Overall, though, I still really like the head. I really like the look of it. So got to keep sharpening it and keep working on the edge, but we'll get to that next. This is the edge that I had started working on hand filing. It's just taken a really long time. So I think I'm actually going to take it over the grinder or the belt sander and try to take it down a little bit with that, and then maybe come back and work on it with the files afterwards. So we'll head over to the belt sander. So we're not doing anything special here. I am just going to slowly try to, I'll probably work on this tiny bit of the belt. I'll probably try to work on this tiny bit of the belt that is in between this, it's not really a contact wheel, but it's a wheel, and the platen. Just to give it a little bit more flex and hopefully not dig anything up. I don't know. I've never been very good with belt sander sharpening, so did a little bit of practice with this. I like this head, but it's not a extremely valuable head, I guess I would say. I like it, but like I said, it's not stamped anything, so we'll get going with it. So I just wanted to turn off the grinder to talk to you this for a minute. It's pretty cool. I think this is most likely an inlaid bit, not an overlaid bit or overcoat. Because you can see right there, that is not
That line right there is not a facet where I've changed angle of the grinder. That is the difference in steels. So it's either that's just where it's tempered differently, you know, along this edge here. That's just the quench line. So I guess it'd be like the hamon if you were talking about like a, you know, like a Japanese knife. Or that's where the two different types of steels meet. And if you look right, where are they seeing it? Oh, right here. Yeah, you can almost see where there's that slight little bit of maybe like forge weld. It's not really a delamination, but just like you can see that line. So I think that, if you look here, it almost looks like this outside jacket, this cheek, is laid over that front bit. So I think it's a inlaid bit, right? So the high carbon bit or steel is in the center, and then the outside of this goes over that. So this high carbon steel bit goes further back into that head. So pretty cool. I think it's really cool that you can, you know, with that even grind line, you can see that difference. You can see it on both sides too. Not there, that's a different facet, but right here. All right, back at it because it's still not there yet. So we have this head. I've got the edge pretty much where I want it, right? I went through some various grits on the grinder, belt sander, whatever you want to call it. And I should remember the grit progression. I think it was 40, 80. I'm just going with what I had, and half of them were worn out anyways. What, 40, 80, 120, 220, really worn out 220 ceramic. And this is the finish that I was left with. Is it perfect? Nope. You can still see some of the facets on there, which is okay. But you can see that that line that I was talking about, that lamination line, which I think is really cool. I think it's an inlaid bit, not overlaid, but we'll see. We got a nice thin edge on it. Not crazy thin, but reasonably thin, I think. This 22.5 rocks just a little bit. So 20 seems to be right on the money for most of it. It's a little bit thicker in the center than on the edges, but about 20 degrees. So I think that's cool. I'm going to put a tiny micro bevel on it once I actually like sharpen it. It is pretty sharp right now, but what I would like to do right now is kind of, we've got some mixtures of finishes here, which is okay, but I want to blend this into where we corrected the pull into the rest of the axe. So I've just got some brown Scotch-Brite here, and I'm just going to kind of blend this in. Maybe I'll grab some sandpaper even. I do have a little bit of 220 here, so maybe I'll hit it with that to just kind of even out the scratch pattern a little bit, but we'll kind of blend it in and get rid of some of the rust to make it look a little more even overall. And then I'll probably end up bluing it. No, we'll see where we go. going to have kind of like a pit and polish look. Not a full polish, but I guess the idea behind it is I'm lessening the patina in areas, so you get some high spots that are a little bit shiny, so it kind of blends in with the rest of the axe. Kind of following suit how Kevin did the one really pitted Connie that we did for the giveaway, right? Or the raffle. He did a really good job on that one, and I kind of like the look of that, so I'm kind of doing something similar to this, so. So, if you've watched any of my other bluing videos, it is exactly the same process. So we're going to do that now. Just using some Brownell's Oxbow Blue. It's not my favorite. It's not my least favorite, I guess. I don't know. It works well enough. It works about the same. It works as well as the other ones that I've used too. Let's put it that way. I think the biggest thing is just surface prep. I think that's really the biggest key to success when you're bluing anything. And I'm just going very, very lightly with that Scotch-Brite. All right, so this is where we're left with the head. The shadow or the bright lights kind of make this look brighter than it looks in person. I think it came out pretty good. It kind of gave the desired look that I was hoping for. It's kind of, the cleaned up pole doesn't jump out as much as the polished bit, which is really just the whole goal of it, right? Also got some splatter and stuff on the bit from me being messy, but that's all right. It'll be fine. So I think the next thing to do to just get a good idea of what it'll look like is just oil it. I still need to put an actual edge on it too, but for right now we're just gonna throw a little oil on it to keep the bluing happy and keep it from flash rusting. That should be enough. Cool, I like it. It's a little different than some of the ones I've done in the past, so that's it's neat and interesting. Yeah, that bluing definitely darkens up. That gives a better depiction of that's kind of how dark it is compared to the bright bit. So when it's shiny like that, the light's shining on it, it's harder to tell. So I think this thing's going to be sweet. So it's got a wicked edge on it. Not as thin as some of the ones that Kevin's been throwing on, but pretty thin as far as what I usually do. So happy with that. I think it'll be a real nice user. So next part of the video, I guess we'll get hanging it and then put an edge on it, right? Not much else to it. Yeah, you can see that even with the grind lines and stuff like that, you can see that delineation right there. Kind of see it here too when I hold it just the right way. There you go. Kind of get a good shot of it there. So that hardened steel or high carbon steel is kind of meets the body of the axe. So that's pretty cool. I like it. Definitely an older one. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you would have done something differently. Part of the reason I took this to the grinder was just because this bit was so hard. The files were cutting it, but the progress was just so incredibly slow. So it's got really nice steel in it, a really good temper. Yeah, so just to expedite the process, I took it to the grinder, and I think total it probably took me about 45 minutes, an hour. If I had done all of that by hand, I don't know. I can't even fathom to think how long it really would have taken. A significant amount of time, so. All right, so appreciate you guys watching. Like I said, let me know what you guys would have done differently, or if you you think I made the right calls on it. So thanks for watching, everyone. Take care.